could with her legs. Now all she had to do was squeeze the button on the side of her I Spy and... Vroom! With a tidal wave of a turn, Doomsday Dan suddenly jerked his jet ski around. The splash was so immense it took a second for Vi to see what was happening. But as the wave subsided, the situation became worryingly clear. Doomsday Dan was heading straight for Vi. Vi tried to line up her target in the crosshairs again, but this villain was no fool. Dan swerved his jet ski from side to side, making it impossible to get a lock on his position. Vi could feel her heart rate rising as Doomsday Dan got nearer and the warship further away. She looked at her watch. There were less than 2 minutes. She was running out of time. It's okay, she reassured herself, bitterly regretting leaving Tamina on the jetty. She could really use one of her techie's cool exit strategies right now. I've got this. She raised her I Spy and fired a wild shot, guided more by false hope than true aim. Doomsday Dan dodged it with ease, now close enough for Vi to hear his laughter ripple across the water. He reached inside his jacket. Her heart was racing. It hadn't occurred to her he might be armed. What if he... But it wasn't a gun he produced. It was a detonator. "Valentine Day!" he shouted, circling her. She fired another hopeful shot, which was just as unsuccessful as the first, and apparently just as funny. "Come quietly," she called, trying to keep the tremble out of her voice, "and you won't be harmed." The roar of laughter was matched only by the roar of the jet ski, as Doomsday Dan gleefully whizzed past her. "You should have saved those poor children," he gloated. "I will save those poor children," said Vi unconvincingly, trying not to glance at the diminishing numbers on her watch. She had under a minute. How was she going to get out of this and back to those kids? "I don't know about you," said the villain, "but I can't bear dragging these things out. Watching a timer tick down to 0, it's just so cliched." Vi's panicking mind randomly turned to her father, Robert. He loved a ticking clock. She could do with him being here now. He used to be a supervillain. He'd know what to do. "So let's not," said Doomsday Dan. "Let's just give it a quick 3, 2, 1. He slammed his thumb down on the detonator. "No!" screamed Vi. She turned to face the warship, although the sickening explosion told her everything. The debris from the ship flew across the ocean. Those poor children. She'd failed them. She'd failed her mission. She'd failed herself. Again. The villain circled her like a maniacal shark. "Oops!" he cackled, reaching into his jacket. Vi could feel anger burning in her stomach. She was going to avenge those children. She was going to get those codes. She was going to save the world. Doomsday Dan produced a large gun from his jacket and aimed it straight at her. Vi felt her breath catch. She was going to die. "Better luck next time, Valentine Day," grinned the villain. "But for now, your mission is over." Vi closed her eyes. She knew all too well what was coming. Bang! Vi recoiled as the device around her upper body smacked her hard in the chest. If these simulation vests were anything to go by, she hoped she never actually did take a bullet. It didn't matter how many times she got virtually shot, and there had been many over the past year, it always really, really hurt. She yanked off her virtual reality mask and tried to gather some breath in her winded body. The screen in front of her flickered off its ocean view and returned to green for the next recruit's simulation. The actor playing Doomsday Dan grabbed a coffee. Vi dismounted the multivec, the mock jet ski she'd been riding, and couldn't resist giving it a swift kick. The same piece of equipment, a kind of high-tech gym horse that served as whatever you needed in a simulated mission, had failed her in every single assessment. In her last one, the multivec had been a car she'd driven to pursue a jewel thief. She'd ended up driving it into the River Thames. The one before, it had been a motorbike she rode to foil a plot to bomb the Welsh Parliament building. She'd ridden it off a cliff near Penarth. She'd hoped that making the multivec a jet ski would bring her better luck. But she was wrong. Vi was wrong a lot these days, and it didn't get any easier each time. She looked over at Tamina in the tech booth.